Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all well. This is Lifestyle Critic, where we break down movies and TV shows into their core elements. And in this video, we are going to be reviewing Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald, which is the sequel and second movie in the Fantastic Beasts wider franchise. Now, whilst the cast is a lot better in this movie, and the focus on magical creatures is a lot more reduced, which is great, I just feel like the actual plot in this movie is really convoluted, and they are trying to stuff it with so much, which just means that the end product is really messy. But at the same time, not that much actually happened in this movie, and it really did feel like a setup film. I'm hoping that the next 3 installments in the Fantastic Beasts franchise are a lot better and a lot stronger, as currently it's really damaging the Harry Potter and Wizarding World wider franchise, which is really disappointing, and I'm going to be breaking it all down for you in this movie review. So from a storyline point of view, the film honestly had a brilliant opening sequence, literally one of the best opening sequences that I've seen in any film, which was really strong. So it saw the Grindelwald character escaping from prison in a really elaborate sky chase sequence, which was really cool, and also teased his ability of influencing other people, which was really great. But after that, the film just went downhill from there. So loads of different characters are trying to find the Credence character. There are various different confusing subplots happening, and other characters trying to find and stop Grindelwald as well. This film, compared to the first film, is also a lot more linked to the wider Harry Potter franchise, as we also have the introduction of the Albus Dumbledore character. We have certain characters visiting Hogwarts, which was an absolutely brilliant scene, and we also have the background of Voldemort's snake, Nagini, in this film as well. But you know, that being said, whilst it did have some nice aspects and elements in this movie, the actual plot was really slow, really convoluted, and like I said right in the beginning, not that much happened either. So from a cast and characters point of view, whilst I still do feel like some of the roles have been miscasted with the wrong actors, I do feel like overall the cast and characters are a lot better than the previous film. So let's go through them one by one. So first up we have Redmayne, who is back as the Newt character, and this time he is trying to reunite with his friends. He is trying to find Credence and stop Grindelwald, and like I said, he was a lot better than last time. Next up we have Katherine, who is back as the Tina character. She is still somewhat a bit of a love interest to the Newt character. She didn't really do that much in this movie, and I do still feel like Katherine, whilst she is a great actress, I just feel like she has been miscast into the role of Tina. Next up we have Fogler, who is back as Jacob the Baker, the nomad slash muggle slash human that is in this world, and actually he does remember everything from the previous film and is still bringing the comedy value, and is still definitely a character that really does feel like he's been plucked out of the 1920s. Next up we have Alison, Sudol, who is actually a lot more intrinsic to the plot this time. Whilst not that much happens, she actually does fall under the influence of the Grindelwald character, and then does do some questionable things as well. Next up we have Ezra Miller, who's also back as the Credence character. Like I said, there's loads of different other characters that are searching for Credence. He's also really imperative to the final few moments in the film, as is a bit of a twist, and definitely, like I said before, is being built up for the next couple of franchise installments. Next up we have Callum Turner, who is introduced into the film as a character called Theseus, who is Newt's brother. He works for the Ministry and has an interesting relationship with Newt, which then definitely gets developed by the final arc of this movie, and I'm really intrigued to see where this relationship is going to go in the next film. Next up we have Johnny Depp, who is in the film as the Grindelwald character. He's not as big of a bad as the Voldemort character yet, but he definitely is a bit of a pure-blood character that feels that wizards should have total supremacy over the world, and as such feels a little bit like Magneto in terms of wanting to have a new world order where the race that is being feared are the ones that actually should be in power. Next up we have Jude, who is definitely channeling Michael Gambon in his performance of Albus Dumbledore. You don't see that many scenes of this character, but the ones that you do see, it's really great to see the Dumbledore character back. You definitely see him in his youth, and you kind of see how he thinks, what his past relationships are like with certain characters, and how he's still a sage of wisdom to a character, and this time it's Newt instead of Harry Potter, which is really interesting. And then finally we have the character of Nagini. So it's really interesting to see the human form of this character before she was cursed to spend the rest of her life as a snake. So from a cast and characters point of view, actually this second movie is pretty decent. So from a visuals point of view, this is definitely the best looking Wizarding World movie. You know, it's the most recently released of the entire franchise, and so it looks really, really cool. All of the spells look really, really great. All of the magic looks really, really great. All of the magical creatures look really, really cool as well. And the 1920s aesthetic feels really, really believable. And like I said, that opening sequence of this film was absolutely incredible. So from a visuals point of view, this movie is actually pretty decent. So from a comparison point of view, let's look at the Fantastic Beasts franchise first. So I feel like certain aspects of this film were a lot better than the first movie, and I feel like certain other aspects were definitely not as good as the first film. I don't think you can compare the franchise yet to Harry Potter, as Harry Potter is definitely in another league. You know, that's not to say that all of the Harry Potter movies are absolutely brilliant. You know, Order of the Phoenix and Half-Blood Prince, I don't think are as strong as the others. But that being said, the Fantastic Beasts franchise just isn't even as good as those ones are yet. So overall, I was hoping for a lot more from this movie. Ultimately, I just found it really boring, confusing, dull, and drawn out. I'm hoping that the next 3 installments are a lot stronger, but as far as Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald goes, I have to give it a 4 out of 10. I'd love to hear what you think, so please let me know in the comment section below. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you in my next video.